man's best friend. One part brilliant, majestic companion, and the other part is simply adorable nonsense. There are plenty of behaviors our dogs exhibit that are reliably predictable every day, but sometimes they toss in a curveball and do something we don't really have a full understanding of. One of the most common canine behavior curveballs is many dogs having a strange impulse to chow down on fresh green grass. I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I heard all kinds of strange colloquial explanations for why dogs eat grass. My favorite that I remember hearing, which also is one that makes zero sense, is that dogs eating grass was a sign that it was going to rain. Now, as enticing an image as a meteorologist dog may be, I also had a feeling that the most common explanation I've heard for why dogs eat grass was lacking as well. The most prevalent answer, reiterated over and over and over again, was that dogs eat grass because they feel sick and it's a way that they can induce vomiting. But something about this answer just didn't seem to cut it for me, so I decided to dig deeper into the topic at hand, and oh, dig deeper I did. The biggest reason that raised my suspicions about this explanation is that I've personally observed dogs, including my own dogs growing up, commonly eat grass and then go about their blissful way vomit-free. That was when I dove into a study conducted by the Journal of Applied Animal Behavior Science, and the observations of the study were right in line with my own observations. Here's a quick breakdown of the study's results. Of the 1,571 dog owners that met the criteria to participate in the study, 68% of the dogs were reported to eat plants on a daily or weekly basis, with the remainder eating plants once a month or less. 79% of those dogs' plant of choice was grass. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Only 9% were reported to appear ill before eating grass and other plants, and only 22% of them would vomit afterwards. That means that nearly 80% of dogs enjoy a lawn salad on occasion for reasons other than the commonly held belief that it's to induce vomiting, which leads us to consider other reasons that may well be a better explanation for this behavior. The next most commonly referred to explanation is also lacking in the plausibility department, which is that dogs eat grass to supplement dietary deficiencies. The reason why this theory doesn't hold water is because dogs don't have the digestive enzymes required to break down the fibers in grass, which means that it isn't going to hold a whole lot of nutritional value for them. But that may not be entirely true for all types of plants your dog may seek out. So if your pup is more prone to go on the hunt to get its paws on that perfect plant to munch, then possibly it could be part of the reason. But this leads us to the third option, which in my opinion makes the most sense for understanding this behavior, and it's that grass eating may reflect an innate predisposition inherited from dogs' wild ancestors. This idea is supported by research conducted on wolf behavior, specifically looking at their stool. Let's skip the imagery on that one. The utility in eating grass for wild canines is its ability to purge intestinal parasites. The way that works is the plant material passes through the intestinal tract, and the fibrous matter increases the intestinal contractions and wraps around the worms or nematodes which may be infecting the animal. In this way, the grass helps purge the system of these potentially harmful parasites. Now, it's not likely the case that your dog is eating grass because it has active parasites it's trying to rid itself of, but on a serious note, if you suspect that, go see your local vet. But it's an inherited behavioral predisposition from its ancestors to maintain the practice of eating grass as a defense mechanism that was incredibly helpful to the survival of their species. This theory actually falls in line quite well with the observation that it's common to see that puppies are more likely to eat grass when they're young, and then they can grow out of the behavior the older they get. This is because, while they're pups, dogs exhibit more of their inherited ancestral behaviors that don't serve much of a purpose anymore in their domesticated lives. Or at the end of the day, it also could be just as likely that your dog eats grass because it thinks it's delicious, or it's just bored and looking for dog shenanigans to partake in, much like how your dog likely doesn't have an ancestral drive to eat your living room couch. Thanks for stopping by Common Knowledge. It's a new channel, so join the growing community of curious minds by tapping that subscribe button and dropping a comment below for topics you'd like to see in upcoming videos. And as always, obliterate the like button for the YouTube algorithm.